need a Jolt Nerf gun, about $7. You'll need Velcro. You'll need craft foam, a saw or a cutting tool. We're going to use this Dremel, but you can use a saw. Sandpaper. You also need an X-Acto knife, or you can just use scissors. A rubber band. Where's the rubber band? And some ribbon. We got some black one here. Okay, well, let's get started. First, we're gonna start cutting it. We're gonna cut right here. We're gonna cut the top off first. And there you go, you can see it off. Just come off. There we go. Now we have the top off. If you see, I kind of messed up cutting it. I cut it sideways when you want it like that, so I'm just gonna cut it straight on so it's 90 degrees. So there you go, you want it flat. Okay, so next, we want to cut like this trigger part, but just the blue part. If you see, there's like two sides on the blue and the gray in the middle. We only want to cut off the blue part, not the trigger, not this gray part. So you have to be really careful when you're cutting it. Yep. And it's off. Now you want to save this piece because we're going to need it later. So now that we have our two pieces apart and our special little piece, we're just going to sand off this Nerf sign here on your barrel. We're gonna sand off the caution sign. I don't know if it's illegal to do that, but we're gonna do it anyway so it looks nice and smooth so we can paint it. Now that we have everything sanded, we want to cut the barrel. So you have two options here. You can make it like this one, like the original one I made, which has a long barrel, so you use the whole barrel, or you can make it like how I'm gonna make it, which is a half barrel. If you're gonna do the half barrel or the full barrel, I mean, you wanna cut above this spring thing, because you don't want that spring thing at all, because it just makes it actually makes the Nerf gun weaker. There we go, got a tiny little barrel. We're just gonna put all the pieces together. We only have 3 pieces. And we're just gonna start by getting the barrel on. And when you glue it on, you wanna make sure that it's straight. So the whole thing is straight. That'll get you the best, because if it's a little bit sideways, it's gonna look goofy, it's not gonna aim right. You wanna make sure that's straight. Even though there's a little part here, just fill it with glue. So we're gonna start with a little ring around the top there. Make it as straight. Okay, then we just wait for it to dry a little bit. Okay, now that's a solid base, and we just want to cover up this little hole here with glue. And now that it's dry, we're gonna glue our little bonus piece on. And what you want to do is you want to have it forward like that, and it should be cut like this. So that way you could just glue it straight on. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut our foam, and it's gonna be our wrist strap. Now you don't have to use foam if you don't want to. This one was made with backpack straps and Velcro, so you don't have to use foam, but it's the cheapest thing. And when you're doing your foam, you want to measure out how big your gun is. So I'd say 3.5. So because you don't need it from the top of the barrel, you just need this part glued. So you only need about 3.5. That should be long enough. And you want to measure your wrist because the Velcro is going to go on it. So you want to leave some extra space there. So you don't want it to be too long like this. So I think I'm going to cut it right about there. Does that look good? Okay, so now we're gonna move on to paint. And if you don't want to paint it, you just want to leave it how it is, click over here. Okay, that's enough. So if you could see here, I already painted the red and the white, the darts, and I'm gonna paint this silver. But I just want to say real quick that you don't have to paint it exactly like this. You can paint it however you want. You can make this blue, you make these green, it doesn't really matter, it's up to you. So I just finished painting, and as you can see, it's all chrome. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it look a little bit more weathered, a little bit more used. Here I have some black acrylic paint. We're just gonna put some down. We don't need that much, really. Only a little bit. Because we're not gonna paint it black, we're gonna kind of buffer it. And we're just gonna take it, and we're gonna try and get as much paint as we can off, like this. And we're just gonna dab it around the corners so it looks so we see. Check it out. So we're gonna let this dry, and then it'll look great. Okay, so while we wait for our paint to dry, we're gonna start putting the Velcro on our foam pad, which is our wrist thing. But the good part about this is it has this like sticky stuff to it. So you just peel it off, cut it, and then stick it on. And there you go, it's on securely. Now we're gonna put in the soft side on the outside, which is the red side in my case. Now when you put it on, it should, there we go, we got our little Hercules band now. We're gonna actually make it usable. So first thing we're gonna do is now you need your rubber band. Now I highly suggest you find a black one or a blue one or a red one, something colored, because this ugly one, it just throws off this whole thing. See this little trigger right here? There's a little slot in between, so you want to get your rubber band, just slide it in like that. Now sometimes, like in my case, this isn't going to be good because it doesn't have any tension, so you want to double it. Now you have a little tension band. Now the reason for this is that this trigger always needs to be down. So in order to pull it back and lock it, it needs to be locked with the rubber band, because otherwise it won't lock anyway. So if you don't put this rubber band, you won't be able to pull back and lock this, so it won't shoot. Okay, so now we want to actually get the ribbon that we were using before. Get black or whatever your color scheme is, get that, but I would suggest black because it's basic. So what you want to do is take your ribbon, and you're going to want to attach it to the same place where the rubber band is. So take your ribbon, and I want you to stick it in between there so it stays in between that little slot that we have, and wrap it around once, twice. I want you to wrap it around 3 times, and on the 3rd time put a thing of hot glue, and then we're just going to stick a little dab right there. Should stay on. Now you want a decent amount of ribbon, so I would suggest this much, and you're going to see why right now. Put more than you need. Now what I want you to do is just put your wristband on like that. So first off, you need to decide what kind of launcher you want to make. Do you want to make an under wrist one or an over wrist one? And all we're going to do is we're just going to hot glue it on. Now make sure the paint is dry, because if it's not dry, the paint's just going to come off when you glue it. It's pretty easy to glue on. Just see this part that we sanded off? Just take that and put a ton of glue on it. And then over here, on your little special part, glue that too. So here we got our hot glue gun, we got our wristband. We're going to put the glue on this part here, and then on this part. And just place it on. Be careful not to burn yourself. So if I decided to go underhand, so what I want to do is, since you want to make, like, I want to do the Spider-Man type thing, I need to measure it when it's right here. It needs to have tension when it's right here, because when you pull it back, that's going to be, if you can see here, that action when you pull back your wrist is going to be what's firing it. But if you did it on top of your wrist, you want to do it the same idea, right? But so you need that to be like at least kind of tight, but not, not too tight. So like that. So when you pull it down, that trigger is going. Mine is going to be about this long, and I'm just going to measure that out. And all you need to do is make a little loop. Now just take it for a quick test run. Your wristband needs to be kind of tight for this to work. So I'm going to tighten mine. Right. Set it up and pull that. And I'm pretty sure what happened was I didn't put enough glue. Because on the other one over there, it has a ton of glue. So that's just a lesson learned. Don't jerk it back and use a lot of glue. See, I added much more glue this time. Okay, so after I used it a couple times, it started to tear. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna add more foam down here and kind of reinforce it. Alright, so now we have everything caulked and ready to go. We have the extra layers. I would recommend putting an extra layer on the whole thing just to make it more durable, and it should just fire. Yay! So I have tested it, and this actually will go farther than the default Nerf gun. And the reason for that is because it's straight, and we took out, there's like an air blocker thing, so this will fly actually further than the regular ones. But the short barrel, the long barrel, it actually doesn't matter. It didn't shoot any farther. It was the same. So up to you. And all you need to do is flick your wrist, and it works. And it's fun, and you can reload it, pop it back, do it a bunch. There you have it, your own Nerf gun wrist launcher. If you like this video, make sure to like it, obviously, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again.
Technical difficulties.